The endocrine system. The endocrine system is a network of glands and organs that produce and secrete hormones to regulate various physiological functions in the body. These hormones travel through the bloodstream to target cells and organs to control processes such as metabolism, growth and development, sexual function, sleep, and mood. The endocrine system includes glands such as the pituitary gland, thyroid gland, adrenal gland, pancreas, and reproductive organs like the ovaries and testes. Hormones secreted by these glands include insulin, thyroid hormone, cortisol, adrenaline, estrogen, testosterone, and progesterone. The endocrine system works in conjunction with the nervous system to maintain homeostasis, and disruptions to the endocrine system can result in hormonal imbalances and various disorders such as diabetes, thyroid diseases, and adrenal disorders. Treatment for endocrine disorders may involve medication, surgery, or hormone replacement therapy. Exocrine glands. Exocrine glands are glands that secrete substances through ducts to the outside of the body or into body cavities. These glands are different from endocrine glands, which secrete hormones into the bloodstream. Exocrine glands can be classified into different types based on their structure and mode of secretion. Some examples of exocrine glands include 1. Sweat glands. These glands are found all over the body and secrete sweat that keeps the body cool and regulates body temperature. 2. Salivary glands. These glands secrete saliva, which contains enzymes that break down food during digestion. 3. Mammary glands. These glands are responsible for the production of milk in mammals. 4. Sebaceous glands. These glands secrete sebum, which helps to keep the skin and hair moisturized and protects against skin infections. 5. Pancreatic glands. These glands secrete digestive enzymes and bicarbonate into the small intestine to help with the digestion of food. Exocrine gland diseases can occur due to a variety of factors such as infections, inflammation, and tumors. Treatment varies based on the underlying cause and may involve medication or surgery. Endocrine glands. Endocrine glands are specialized glands that secrete hormones directly into the bloodstream to regulate various bodily functions. These hormones act as chemical messengers and travel to target cells and organs to control processes such as metabolism, growth and development, sexual function, sleep, and mood. The major endocrine glands in the human body include 1. Pineal gland. This small gland in the brain secretes the hormone melatonin, which helps regulate sleep and circadian rhythms. 2. Pituitary gland. This gland in the brain is often referred to as the master gland because it produces several hormones that regulate other endocrine glands in the body. 3. Thyroid gland. This gland in the neck produces thyroid hormones that regulate metabolism and growth. 4. Parathyroid gland. These 4 small glands located in the neck produce parathyroid hormone, which regulates calcium levels in the body. 5. Adrenal glands. These 2 glands located on top of the kidneys produce hormones such as cortisol, adrenaline, and aldosterone, which regulate stress response and salt and water balance. 6. Pancreas. This gland located in the abdomen produces hormones such as insulin and glucagon, which regulate blood sugar levels. 7. Ovaries and testes. These reproductive organs produce hormones such as estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone, which regulate sexual development and function. Disruptions to the endocrine system can result in hormonal imbalances and various disorders such as diabetes, thyroid diseases, and adrenal disorders. Treatment for endocrine disorders may involve medication, surgery, or hormone replacement therapy. Nervous communication versus hormonal communication. Nervous communication and hormonal communication are 2 different mechanisms by which the body communicates and controls its functions. Nervous communication. 1. Transmission. Nervous communication involves the transmission of electrical signals through the nerves. 2. Speed. The transmission of nervous signals is very fast, and the response time is usually within milliseconds. 3. Specificity. Nervous communication is highly specific, with signals traveling locally to specific target cells and organs. 4. Duration. The effects of nervous communication are typically short-lived, lasting only for a brief period. 5. Examples. Examples of nervous communication include reflex actions in response to touch, pain, or heat, as well as complex functions such as movement, sensation, and perception. Hormonal communication. 1. Transmission. Hormonal communication involves the release of hormones by endocrine glands directly into the bloodstream. 2. Speed. The transmission of hormonal signals is slower, with hormones taking time to travel through the bloodstream, and response time typically takes seconds to minutes. 3. Specificity. Hormonal communication is less specific, with hormones affecting many different organs throughout the body. 4. Duration. The effects of hormonal communication can be long-lasting, lasting from minutes to days or even months. 5. Examples. Examples of hormonal communication include the regulation of metabolism, growth and development, and the maintenance of reproductive functions. In summary, nervous communication and hormonal communication are two different but complementary mechanisms by which the body maintains homeostasis, responds to stimuli and regulates its functions. 1. Pituitary gland. The pituitary gland is a small, pea-sized gland located at the base of the brain. It is sometimes referred to as the master gland because it produces and secretes several hormones that control or regulate the activity of other endocrine glands in the body. The pituitary gland is divided into two parts, the anterior pituitary and the posterior pituitary. The anterior pituitary produces and releases hormones such as 1. Growth hormone GH, regulates growth and metabolism. 2. Prolactin, PRL, stimulates milk production in females after childbirth. 3. Adrenocorticotropic hormone ACTH, stimulates the adrenal glands to produce cortisol, which is involved in the body's stress response. 4. Thyroid-stimulating hormone TSH, stimulates the thyroid gland to produce thyroid hormones, which regulate metabolism. 5. Follicle-stimulating hormone FSH and luteinizing hormone LH, these hormones regulate reproductive functions such as the production of sperm in males and ovulation in females. The posterior pituitary does not produce its own hormones, but it stores and releases two hormones that are made in the hypothalamus. 1. Oxytocin, stimulates the contraction of the uterus during childbirth, as well as the release of milk during breastfeeding. 2. Vasopressin, also known as antidiuretic hormone or ADH, regulates water balance in the body by controlling the amount of water reabsorbed by the kidneys. Disorders of the pituitary gland can lead to hormonal imbalances and conditions such as dwarfism, gigantism, acromegaly, Cushing's syndrome, and diabetes insipidus. Treatment may involve medications, surgery, or hormone replacement therapy, depending on the specific disorder. 2. Adrenal glands. The adrenal glands are located above each of the kidneys and are composed of two parts, the outer adrenal cortex and the inner adrenal medulla. Adrenal cortex. The adrenal cortex produces several hormones known as corticosteroids, which are essential for maintaining biological homeostasis, including 1. Glucocorticoids, hormones such as cortisol that regulate metabolism, immune function, and response to stress. 2. Mineralocorticoids, hormones such as aldosterone that regulate the balance of sodium and potassium in the body, which affects blood pressure and fluid balance. 3. Androgens, hormones that are converted into testosterone and estrogen, which regulate reproductive functions. Adrenal medulla. The adrenal medulla secretes two hormones that play a role in the body's response to stress. 1. Epinephrine, also known as adrenaline, prepares the body for a fight or flight response by increasing heart rate, blood pressure, and blood sugar levels. 2. Norepinephrine, noradrenaline, works in conjunction with epinephrine to increase heart rate and blood pressure, as well as to control blood sugar levels. Disorders of the adrenal glands can result in hormonal imbalances and conditions such as Addison's disease, Cushing's syndrome, and pheochromocytoma. Treatment often involves hormone replacement therapy or surgical removal of a tumor if present. 3. Thyroid gland. The thyroid gland is a butterfly-shaped endocrine gland located in the neck, below the Adam's apple. It produces hormones that regulate metabolism, growth, and development. The thyroid gland produces two main hormones. 1. Triiodothyronine T3, regulates metabolism and body temperature. 2. Thyroxine T4, also regulates metabolism and is converted to T3 in the body. The production and release of thyroid hormones are regulated by the hypothalamus and the pituitary gland, which produce signaling hormones called thyrotrophin-releasing hormone TRH and thyroid-stimulating hormone TSH, respectively. Thyroid disorders can result in either an overactive thyroid hyperthyroidism or an underactive thyroid hypothyroidism. Common causes of thyroid disorders include autoimmune diseases, iodine deficiency, and thyroid nodules. Symptoms of an overactive thyroid include weight loss, tremors, anxiety, and rapid heart rate, while symptoms of an underactive thyroid include weight gain, fatigue, depression, and cold intolerance. Treatment for thyroid disorders often involves hormone replacement therapy to regulate thyroid hormone levels. In some cases, surgery may be necessary to remove all or part of the thyroid gland. 4. Pancreasislets of Langerhans. The pancreas is a glandular organ located in the abdomen that serves both digestive and endocrine functions. Endocrine cells within the pancreas are organized into clusters called islets of Langerhans. These islets contain several types of cells that produce and secrete hormones. 1. Alpha cells produce and secrete glucagon, which raises blood glucose levels. 2. Beta cells produce and secrete insulin, which lowers blood glucose levels. 3. Delta cells produce and secrete somatostatin, which helps regulate glucose and insulin levels. 4. PP cells produce and secrete pancreatic polypeptide, which plays a role in digestion and hunger regulation. The endocrine function of the pancreas plays a critical role in regulating blood glucose levels in the body. In healthy individuals, insulin and glucagon work in opposition to keep blood glucose within a narrow range. Insulin is released in response to high blood glucose levels, which helps cells take up glucose and lowers blood glucose levels. Glucagon, on the other hand, is released in response to low blood glucose levels and stimulates the liver to release glucose, which raises blood glucose levels. Problems with the endocrine function of the pancreas can lead to metabolic disorders such as diabetes mellitus, a condition in which the body's ability to produce or respond to insulin is impaired. Treatment for diabetes may involve lifestyle changes, medications, and insulin therapy. 5. Gonads. Gonads are the reproductive organs responsible for the production of gametes, sex cells, and sex hormones. In males, the gonads are the testes, while in females, the gonads are the ovaries. The main functions of the gonads are: 1. Production of gametes. The gonads produce sperm in males and eggs, ova, in females. 2. Production of sex hormones. The gonads also produce the sex hormones testosterone in males and estrogen and progesterone in females, which are important for the development and maintenance of reproductive organs and secondary sex characteristics. The production of sex hormones is regulated by the hypothalamus and pituitary gland through the hypothalamic pituitary gonadal axis (HPG axis). The hypothalamus produces gonadotropin-releasing hormone, GnRH, which stimulates the pituitary gland to produce luteinizing hormone LH and follicle-stimulating hormone FSH. In males, LH stimulates the production of testosterone by the testes, while FSH stimulates spermatogenesis, sperm production. In females, LH and FSH stimulate the development and maturation of follicles in the ovaries and the production of estrogen and progesterone. Disorders of the gonads can lead to infertility, sexual dysfunction, and hormonal imbalances. Examples of gonadal disorders include testicular or ovarian cancer, polycystic ovary syndrome, PCOS, in females, and hypogonadism, reduced gonadal function, in both males and females. Treatment for gonadal disorders may involve surgery, hormone therapy, or assisted reproductive technologies. 6. Parathyroids. The parathyroid glands are small endocrine glands located in the neck, adjacent to the thyroid gland. Humans typically have 4 parathyroid glands, each around the size of a grain of rice. The main function of the parathyroid glands is to secrete parathyroid hormone, PTH, which plays a key role in regulating calcium and phosphate levels in the body. PTH acts on the bones, kidneys, and intestines to increase calcium levels in the blood and decrease phosphate levels. In the bones, PTH stimulates the release of calcium from the bone matrix, which increases blood calcium levels. In the kidneys, PTH reduces the excretion of calcium in urine and stimulates the production of vitamin D, which enhances the absorption of calcium and phosphate from food in the intestines. Disorders of the parathyroid glands can lead to disturbances in calcium and phosphate metabolism. Hyperparathyroidism, the excess production of PTH, can cause high blood calcium levels, hypercalcemia, which can lead to kidney stones, osteoporosis, and other complications. Hypoparathyroidism, on the other hand, is a rare condition in which the parathyroid glands do not produce enough PTH, resulting in low blood calcium levels, hypocalcemia, and high phosphate levels, which can cause muscle cramps, seizures, and other symptoms. Treatment of parathyroid disorders may involve surgery to remove part or all of the parathyroid glands, medications to control calcium and phosphate levels, and monitoring of blood levels of calcium, phosphate, and PTH. Position of the main endocrine glands in man. The main endocrine glands in humans and their positions are: 1. Hypothalamus, a small region of the brain located just above the brainstem. 2. Pituitary gland, a pea-sized gland located at the base of the brain, just below the hypothalamus. 3. Thyroid gland, a butterfly-shaped gland located in the neck, just below the Adam's apple. 4. Parathyroid glands, 4 small glands located on the back of the thyroid gland in the neck. 5. Adrenal glands, 2 triangular-shaped glands located on top of the kidneys. 6. Pancreas, a long, thin gland located behind the stomach that secretes insulin and other hormones. 7. Pineal gland, a small gland located in the brain that secretes the hormone melatonin. 8. Ovaries, the female reproductive glands located in the lower abdomen. 9. Testes, the male reproductive glands located in the scrotum. Each of these glands produces hormones that regulate various bodily functions, such as growth and development, metabolism, stress response, and reproductive function. Similarities between endocrine and nervous systems. The endocrine system and nervous system are both important body systems that help regulate various physiological processes in the body. Here are some similarities between these two systems. 1. Regulation. Both systems play a major role in regulating and maintaining homeostasis in the body, ensuring that bodily functions are kept within a narrow range of conditions that are optimal for health and well-being. 2. Chemical signaling. Both the endocrine and nervous system use chemical signaling to carry out their functions. The nervous system uses neurotransmitters to transmit signals between neurons, while the endocrine system uses hormones, which are transported through the bloodstream to various target organs and tissues. 3. Feedback mechanisms. Both systems use feedback mechanisms to regulate their activities. The nervous system uses both positive and negative feedback to regulate neural activity, while the endocrine system uses negative feedback mechanisms to regulate hormone secretion. 4. Influence on each other. The two systems are also interconnected, with the nervous system often regulating the activity of the endocrine system, and the endocrine system influencing the activity of the nervous system. For example, the hypothalamus, which is part of the nervous system, regulates the activity of the pituitary gland, which is part of the endocrine system. Overall, while the endocrine and nervous systems have different structures and mechanisms for carrying out their functions, they work together in a coordinated manner to help maintain normal bodily functions. Disorders of hormonal coordination in mammals. Hormonal coordination in mammals is essential for maintaining normal physiological functions, and any abnormalities or disorders in hormone secretion, regulation or action can lead to various disorders, including 1. Diabetes mellitus, a group of metabolic disorders characterized by hyperglycemia, high blood sugar levels, due to a lack of insulin secretion, insulin resistance, or both. 2. Hypothyroidism and hyperthyroidism. Hypothyroidism is a disorder characterized by low levels of thyroid hormones, while hyperthyroidism is characterized by excessive thyroid hormone secretion. 3. Acromegaly, a rare hormonal disorder characterized by excessive growth hormone GH secretion, leading to the enlargement of bones and tissues in the body. 4. Cushing syndrome, a hormonal disorder characterized by excessive secretion of cortisol, a hormone produced by the adrenal cortex. 5. Addison's disease, a disorder of the adrenal gland characterized by low levels of cortisol and aldosterone secretion. 6. Polycystic ovary syndrome, PCOS, a hormonal disorder in women characterized by the presence of multiple cysts in the ovaries, irregular menstrual cycles, and high levels of androgens, male hormone secretion. 7. Hypopituitarism, a disorder characterized by reduced or absent secretion of one or more pituitary hormones, leading to various symptoms such as fatigue, weakness, weight loss, and low libido. These disorders can be caused by various factors, such as genetic mutations, autoimmune disorders, tumors, infections, or certain medications. They can be treated with medications, hormonal replacement therapies, or in severe cases, surgery. Revision questions. 1. State the role of each of the following hormones. A luteinizing hormone. B. Insulin. C. Thyroxine. D. Adrenaline. E. Antidiuretic hormone ADH. A luteinizing hormone LH plays a crucial role in the reproductive system in both males and females. In females, it stimulates ovulation and the production of progesterone by the corpus luteum. In males, it stimulates the production of testosterone by the Leydig cells in the testes. B. Insulin is a hormone produced by the beta cells in the pancreas in response to high blood glucose levels after a meal. Its main role is to facilitate glucose uptake by the cells, help with the storage of glucose in the liver and muscles, and inhibit the production and release of glucose from the liver. C. Thyroxine is a hormone produced by the thyroid gland that plays a crucial role in the regulation of metabolism. It increases metabolic rate, promotes growth and development, and regulates body temperature, heart rate, and other vital functions. D. Adrenaline, also called epinephrine, is a hormone secreted by the adrenal medulla in response to stress or danger. It increases heart rate and blood pressure, dilates air passages in the lungs, and increases blood glucose levels, preparing the body for a fight or flight response. The antidiuretic hormone ADH, also known as vasopressin, is produced by the hypothalamus and released by the pituitary gland in response to high blood osmolality or low blood volume. Its main role is to conserve water by reducing urine output from the kidneys, thus helping to maintain fluid balance and prevent dehydration. 2. State the difference between endocrine and exocrine glands. Endocrine glands are glands that secrete hormones directly into the bloodstream, which then carries them to the target tissues or organs throughout the body. These glands do not have ducts and usually have a rich blood supply to facilitate hormone secretion. Examples of endocrine glands include the pituitary gland, thyroid gland, adrenal gland, and pancreas. Exocrine glands, on the other hand, secrete their products, such as enzymes or mucus, through ducts onto an epithelial surface or lumen of a hollow organ. They do not secrete hormones into the bloodstream. Examples of exocrine glands include salivary glands, sweat glands, and mammary glands. Therefore, the key difference between endocrine and exocrine glands is that endocrine glands secrete hormones directly into the bloodstream, while exocrine glands secrete their products through ducts onto an epithelial surface or lumen. 3. State the causes of the following. A. Diabetes mellitus. B. Diabetes insipidus. C. Cretinism. D. Dwarfism. E. Exophthalmic goiter. Diabetes mellitus is caused by a combination of genetic and environmental factors that result in the body's inability to produce enough insulin or effectively use the insulin it produces. This leads to elevated levels of glucose in the blood, which can damage various organs and tissues. B. Diabetes insipidus is caused by a lack of the hormone vasopressin, also known as antidiuretic hormone ADH, or a decreased ability of the kidneys to respond to it. This results in excessive production of very dilute urine and increased thirst. C. Cretinism is caused by a deficiency of thyroid hormone during fetal development or early infancy, usually due to a problem with the thyroid gland, maternal thyroid deficiency, or iodine deficiency during pregnancy. This can result in stunted growth, mental retardation, and other developmental abnormalities. D. Dwarfism can be caused by a variety of genetic, hormonal, or environmental factors that affect the growth and development of bones and tissues. One common cause is a deficiency of growth hormone, often due to a pituitary gland disorder, that affects bone growth during childhood and results in a significantly shorter stature than usual for their age. Exophthalmic goiter, also known as Graves' disease, is caused by an autoimmune disorder in which the immune system produces antibodies that stimulate the thyroid gland to produce excess thyroid hormone. This leads to an enlarged thyroid gland, goiter, and a range of symptoms, including weight loss, tremors, anxiety, and bulging eyes. Exophthalmos. 4. State the differences between hormonal communication and nervous communication. Hormonal communication and nervous communication are the two main ways that cells and organs in the body communicate with each other. The main differences between the two types of communication are: 1. Types of signals. Hormonal communication involves the use of chemical molecules called hormones, which are secreted by specialized cells into the bloodstream and transported to target cells or organs. Nervous communication, on the other hand, involves the use of electrical and chemical signals, neurotransmitters that are transmitted along specialized cells called neurons. 2. Speed of communication. Hormonal communication typically takes longer to relay and propagate signals than nervous communication. The onset of hormonal responses can occur within seconds to minutes, while the full effect may not be observed for hours or days. In contrast, nervous communication is much faster, with impulses traveling up to several meters per second along neurons, allowing for rapid responses such as reflexes. 3. Range of target cells. Organs. Hormonal communication can affect a wide range of target cells and organs throughout the body because hormones are transported through the bloodstream to the entire body. Nervous communication is typically more localized, with neurons innervating specific regions or organs in the body. For duration of effect, hormonal communication typically has a longer lasting effect compared to nervous communication. Hormone signaling can persist for several minutes to hours, and sometimes longer. Nervous communication, however, can terminate immediately after the stimulus is removed. Overall, hormonal communication and nervous communication are complementary in their functions, with hormonal communication better suited for long-term, systemic changes, and nervous communication better suited for rapid, localized responses.